Hey guys, I think it's time for me to build my Smarti Pi Touch case. This is going to be an ultimate build. I don't think anybody's ever gone this far or will go this far. Maybe, somebody might, but this video is going to be unscripted. I'm going to be doing multiple parts to this video. I'm going to try to cut out as much as I can to try to shorten it as possible. So that being said, let's get to it. When I started out with this project, I had my Raspberry Pi Touch inside of here. I've cut out this piece of plastic here to fit the two dual fans. I made a video on that, and then I made two other videos where I had to fix the fans and then complain about them. I ended up doing an HDMI mod here, that way I can either use the screen or be able to connect it to my TV. I did a video on that as well. I added a couple of straps here because I stuck the 5000 milliamp pocket juice battery on the back, which gives me about 5.5 hours on this battery bank. It runs both the screen and the Pi, but that's as far as I got with this project. So my plan to this thing now is what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take this armor case and I'm going to plug it into the Raspberry Pi Smarti Pi Touch case. Having the full aluminum casing over the Raspberry Pi will help out with the cooling. I don't have to use the fans if I don't want, but I can if it starts to heat up. ETA Prime has actually did a video on this, you should check it out. I'm going a little bit higher here. I'm going to be using the Black Web 2100 milliamp battery bank. I did a test on this thing just to see if it would work with both the screen and the Pi, and it does without the lightning icon. I haven't fully tested it yet. I don't know how long it will last for, but I will be making a video on that eventually. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is between the wall outlet, power supply, and the battery bank, I need a circuit board in order to switch back and forth. Now, I don't recommend this. I have made a diagram I call the Scandi circuit. Basically what this will do is it'll here's where the battery bank will be. One of the USB ports on the battery bank will go to the 7-inch touchscreen, the other one will go to the Pi. This is the wall outlet, so this will be the power supply down there. This one here is a 7-inch touchscreen, that one is the Raspberry Pi. So basically I have some switches here that will switch in between the battery bank and the power supply here, and it will go down into the Pi. Now, if I ended up having disconnected and that at the same time, it will cause an over voltage in between these two, and possibility it may short circuit either one of those. So I could add a couple of diodes to make sure that current only goes one direction. I will see, I might do that eventually, but there is better boards out there, but I want to build my own. I'm also going to be able to turn off the screen doing this. Alright, so I want to show you guys a few of the goodies that I have in this red box. Just kind of move this stuff over. There's actually quite a bit sitting in this box. So I ended up making some pieces of paper here that will tell me screen on, off, power, what direction goes where, what switch to hit. That way I don't actually turn them all on at once and then screw up my Raspberry Pi or anything else. I do have a few diodes in here that I might use yet. I'm just going to build the circuit as is first, and if I want to upgrade this thing, I will do it off cam. I have a little GPIO reference board here, as you can see. There you go, now you can see. So this thing here, I'll be able to see the pin layout at any time. I do have some other pins here. This is the board that I'm going to be using to build that power Scandi circuit. I do have some micro USB pieces here that will go onto that board. This is just the extra board I picked up. I'm not really sure if I'm going to be using these yet, but this is micro USB B to USB. I might yet, I don't know, we'll see with that, but I have a few of them. Now I have some jumper leads here. I'm going to be using this as my permanent wiring for that board, since it's a nice layout. And you are not in the right area. There we go. I have a whole bunch of USB ends here. This is all came from Bin Good here. So I will be using this to plug my Pi in from the battery bank to whatever. It's all part of that circuit. Now I did pick up some switches. These are the switches that I wanted to use. This would have saved a lot of time and a lot less switches in order to build this board. Unfortunately, they don't fit the holes on the breadboard properly. So I'm going to be using the 3-pin layout switches, which, as you can see, I have a lot of these. So these are rated for about, they say about 500 milliamps, if that. So if the Pi gives off, I know my Raspberry Pi will give off about, I don't know, about 700 to about 900. So my Pi is going to be using a little over, but there's going to be 2 switches per line, so I'm sure that it will be less of a problem. Either way, it doesn't really matter if I burn these things out. I have over 200 of them, so I don't care. Now, these, I actually picked these things up for one of my other projects. Won't be in this one. Now, the last thing is this right here. This is a micro SD card. It'll just, this part here will connect into the camera, or not into the camera, into the Raspberry Pi. Sorry, I was thinking about my camera there. Into the Raspberry Pi, and this right here will host the micro SD card. The reason why I have this extension cable is because when I end up putting the armor case onto this, sorry, my camera's not focusing. When I put the armor case onto here, I actually have to screw the armor case down to this to the Smarti Pi Touch case. So I won't be able to pull the Pi out at all. The only way I'd be able to access the slot on the Pi is to take out the screen, and I don't want to do that every single time I want to back up my SD card or just whatever, right? So having this extension cable come out to this outside of the case here means that I will never have to open this thing up again. So that's the whole reason for this piece right here. So this is everything I have to build this project. Now it's time to get to work and build it. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing here is first of all, I'm going to be ripping apart the Smarti Pi Touch case here. I do have a couple of screwdrivers. Take this thing off, I don't need it anymore. Take these screws out. This one I ended up cutting to fit the HDMI. This thing's kind of dusty. I haven't opened it in a long time. I want to grab some canned air. So there's my screen. Let's move you off to the side. Now I'm going to grab this armor case. Might need to do some modifications to this because there is one section here. I want you to see this. Alright, what I want to show you here is there's a hole here, there's one here, and then there's none here or there. Now I need to actually drill these two right here and make them a hole as well. That way I can screw my armor case to that. Alright, so I'm out in my shed right now. I brought my reference board because I'm going to need to put this thing in as well. I have my case there. I'm going to need to find a super small bit. And I need to find out the screws on this. And there they are. I want to have a look here because these screws are going to go on this side. Alright, so I do have some pinholes on this side. I'll just drill from this end. Alright, yeah, so it's this one and that one that needs to be drilled. So this is as flat as I'm going to get it. I have two 2x4s. I'm going to just drill a small hole. Try to make it as straight as possible. Same thing with this one. Let's have a look where it is. So yeah, it drilled right through. Alright, so I drilled right here and right there. Oh, what's with the spider web? Go away. Alright. I'm going to probably file that down. Maybe. Let's actually have a look here with the Raspberry Pi real quick. Okay, so that would be the flat surface. It doesn't look like I actually need to file it down. I can just leave it as is. Sweet. Alright, so what I want to do now, since I've already made the holes here, they're ready to go, is I want to grab my armor case. Stupid bug, go away. So this is what I'm going to be putting inside of this case right here. Looks beautiful. I'm just going to test fit everything first. I want to put the shit. One of the screws just took off. Give me a moment. I just lost one of the screws, but I just found it. Okay, so I'm going to put my Raspberry Pi in here. I've already did a pre-fit test with this thing to make sure that it will go up against this processor and everything, and it does. I'm not going to be putting any of the thermal tape on yet. I just want to test fit everything. Get you set up. There we go. Looks good. And you would go on like that. So that's how it'll look. I'm just going to move it up closer so you can see it. Yeah, just like that. So I do want to put this thing on, but I'm not really sure if I'll be able to see it. I can see it on the side, which is good. So this GPIO reference board will work. It's just the fact that it's kind of getting in the way of putting this thing on, so I need to do some cutting to it. Okay, I wanted you to see it up close. So yes, you can see the reference board right there. Sorry, this thing's kind of in the way. So yeah, you can see the reference board right there. It's just the problem is it's in the way of that edge there. And then that one right there, so I'm going to have to trim it here, there, and there just to put this thing down. Other than that, looks pretty good so far. Alright, let's pull you out. I just want to put you on that block there, and the Pi can stay where it is. I just want this board, and actually, no, I'll just put you on this block, take this block, and keep it here. There we go. I just don't want to put it on here because I got some metal shavings. I have some small files here that I've actually used to file down metal, which will work, I hope. Well, ran into an issue. If you see right there. There's no way I'm going to be able to use that because half of the text is underneath the armor case there. Well, that's a bummer. I guess I'll have to use that on another Raspberry Pi eventually. Alright. So I might as well just pull it out. I won't be using it. That's a bummer. I did shave it too. Maybe I might use that in the future for something else. Maybe there might actually be an add-on that'll go to this Pi where I'll use the reference on that. But in the meantime, I guess that's hopeless for that part. But at least I know this will fit perfectly. I do have something that it's kind of in the way of my pie here. Or did I pull it out already? Did I pull it out? I think I did. I guess I did. It doesn't really sit very well. Yeah, it does. Well, there we go. Yeah, now it's sitting properly.